Hey guys, it's me, Skattosan. Making a video today because I am dang near unstoppable. Anything that I've been able to put my mind to, I've completed. Granted, mind you, I've had help, okay? I don't know everything, right? I just don't. I have to ask questions. I have to be very inquisitive in order to attain what it is that I seek, right? So, one of the things that I sought after was registering the vehicle, what I'm driving right now, 2015 Mitsubishi Mirage, and as well as obviously getting a Texas driver's license. Well, within 3 days, broke it up into 2 days, so technically 2 days, or 2 days worth of effort, 1 day worth of waiting. I not only got it registered, but also got my ID. Now, of course, I have a copy of an ID right now, but I have an ID. No test, because I've already had an ID from a different state, California. Oh, excuse me. And, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's just put it that way. I'm feeling pretty good. And I want to tell you how good I feel. And it's hard because I'm driving. I would say the most important thing, I guess, is to be inquisitive. That there's nothing wrong with asking questions. You have to ask questions. Don't know where to go? You ask a question. Don't know what to do? You ask a question. Don't know how to do something? You ask a question. Okay? Babies normally will copy things that you do because they're interested, right? Their stimulus is just out there, way out there. It's everywhere. Right? Their stimulus is all over the place. So for them to want to learn, they just watch, which is, in my personal opinion, very interesting. Like, my son is probably really ready to use the restroom because sometimes when we go and we get him ready to take a bath or whatever, I want to use the restroom beforehand because I like to get in the tub with them and play with them or whatever, give him toys, squirt him with the toys. Anyways, he tries to copy me, so he like puts his hand on his diaper or whatever, and which really is weird. Sometimes he smacks it because he obviously get to it. Anyways, it's very interesting that babies are actually probably some of the best learners because not only do they copy, but they pay attention, they listen, they want to learn. They think that whatever you're doing is very special. So if you can teach your kid to ask questions, spectacular. If you don't know how to ask questions yourself, I guess you probably need to figure out how to ask questions. Because I think that was one of my biggest issues. I was always, I shouldn't say that, but I was always relying on my brother back in the day. Always texting him, always calling him, very rarely getting a hold of him. I had questions. What should I do here? What should I do there? I'm looking for a job. What should I do about this one? Whatever. And independent inquiry independent. Let's try to define that, break it down, because asking a question simply to someone else, in my opinion, isn't independent. You are relying on someone else's knowledge, okay? Which isn't bad. It's not bad. It's just not independent, in my opinion. You should always ask yourself questions first. You have a question, and technically, you've already asked yourself because you don't know, right? So you have to rely on someone else, most likely. You have to seek out the knowledge, which again is not a bad thing. Especially if you have goals and you have things that require that kind of information that you do not have yet. It's up to you to cultivate a personality that is unique to you, useful to you, and useful to others. You can take that or leave that. My personal opinion about what human beings are here for is to carry on, to keep going, to pass on the knowledge that we ourselves have obtained. My opinion. Does that mean that everybody has to be a teacher? No. We need workers. We need builders. We need all these different things, okay? We need like a working class. We need like a military class. We need bums. I mean, we literally need everybody who is in society right now for a couple of reasons. One, obviously the builders would build infrastructure, correct? Okay? And we have like thinkers, people who, invent the things that are then applied to infrastructure. We have the people who are either lazy or can't work for whatever reason, disabled veteran, there's all sorts of things that can enable somebody to not work, right? Mental handicap, but even then, some people do find it in them to find work. So, anyways, don't limit yourself on that end. So, one of the reasons why I think that we need what would be the opposite of what some people consider to be a good life, like, say, homeless people. A lot of people, they have a respect for homeless people, but they don't compassionately respect them. You know what I mean? It's more like they feel bad. The people who give them money and are like, oh man, I wish you had a better life. Some people choose that. They chose because they don't want to be part of this society. Infrastructure. The infrastructure that is around them, they have to rely on, depend on, and of course the citizens thereof. But anyways, what I'm getting at is without someone who... Ooh, jeez, almost hit a dove. It was flying right in front of me. Anyways, without someone who is lazy, without someone who is, like, say, homeless, someone who is the opposite of what you think should be happening, you will not have anything or anyone to pace yourself against. You will basically, I'm not saying there's nobody who can just pace himself at a good pace without other, outside influences. But it's easier to cultivate an understanding of what you need to do by watching someone else or something else do the opposite. My suggestion is don't be lazy, but find times to be lazy. And even during those lazy times, do something else. I just listened to a TED Talks day before yesterday, and it said that you should dedicate 1 hour per day cultivating, learning something in your area of expertise, somewhere where you want to go with something. You should do something 1 hour every day. And within 5 years, you will be a national expert, possibly international, world. 5 years. I honestly think I'm going to be doing that. Because in my opinion, 1 hour a day, I can do that independently. I have a son. I have a fiance. Okay? I have people in my life that I have to give attention to. But I know that there are times where I'm going to need to be by myself in order to cultivate my swordsmanship, in order to become what it is that I want to become, which is a swordsman. I want to be a fencer. Okay. I already am a fencer. I'm just not to the quality of which I think I should be at. So something's been missing in my life, okay? And I believe that it's fencing, sparring, training, cultivating speed, agility, etc., keeping myself healthy, eating right, stuff like that. I really want to start working on that. And so it's really just been eating at me for months. Well, yesterday was probably one of the greatest reminders that I've been off a path. I mean, and in a few ways, not just with training and all that, but also with, like, say, my relationship. I came home after watching the TED Talks after work. Okay, so I watched the TED Talks on the way to work, went to work, did my work, came home. I was telling myself, I was like, you're not spending quality time with her. You gotta look her in the eyes. You gotta touch her in a certain way that's non-sexual, but more, I would almost say deeper than sexual. It's more, you're trying to touch their soul by caressing her cheek or something while you're looking at her. Well, anyways, did that, last night, both cuddling, falling asleep. And, well, before that, I want to point out that her and I had a disagreement. We had a really hard time right when I got home. And there's probably a lot of things previous to that have just built up and short fuses can occur. Well, I was keeping my cool because it seemed that she had a really short fuse. So, and there was no way for me to understand what she was going through and why. So, when she said, I don't want to continue talking about it right now, or she needed a break from that discussion, of course, I have to press. We need to get this ironed out now. Well, that frustrates me when I can't, because I don't want to say that I'm on a different level. I can say that, but it's not that I'm at a higher level. It's just that my ability to do things is just different. People can't get over things at the snap of a finger all the time. So you can't expect everyone to be like you if you're that way. So I had to remove myself from the situation. So I started doing things. Started getting the trash together, started a load of laundry, switched a load of laundry, put in a new load of laundry. What else did I do? I just started doing stuff, okay? I started being productive. Because without that, I was going to sit there and fester, be angry. And instead, I forced myself to utilize it, to transform the frustration into productivity. Where was I going with that? So, TED Talks, okay, yeah. Oh, so you have to understand that you have to develop not only an understanding and implement it, but your own definition for compassion. To be compassionate. What's it mean to have compassion? I'm not going to tell you. I think that you need to have an independent inquiry. I want you to go look up a definition. Start practicing it, and figuring out what it means to you to be compassionate. Yeah. Compassion. Through compassion, I think there are no obstacles. It's like water. It just washes over things. It can crash through things. It can wear things down. Compassion. Yeah, compassion. It's in the fourth vow of the Nabishima Samurai Vows from Hagakure, page 169 from a certain version. My version that I have. Hagakure, the Book of the Samurai. I think it's written, I think it was written by Yamamoto Tsunetomo, but I believe it was translated by William Scott Wilson. I could be mistaken. If you're looking for it, look it up. Independent inquiry. Anyways, fourth vow is, the way I say it, is today I vow to manifest great compassion and to act for the sake of man. It took me years to understand that literally by saying the four vows out loud, and he even says it right after or right before the vows are stated, that by saying these vows out loud, you are one step above the common person. Specifically, for me, the last vow, compassion. How do you develop compassion and act for the sake of man in everything you do? Very difficult. Very difficult. Once you start practicing that, it will become easier. Do I do it all the time? No, I do not. I honestly don't think you can. Just saying. Because through the way society is, you could possibly be consumed by what society is, how it functions. In the process of trying to give out so much compassion. It's like what do you call it? Like a love battery, I think is what it's called. Love tank from the 5 love languages. It's kind of like it's like a fuel tank, compassion tank. It has to be refilled. Or a constant fill. But it is one of those things that kind of has an endless tank. Just gotta know how to tap into it. In any case, this is Skattosan. I did not mean to make a 20-minute video. My apologies. I hope that I shed a little bit of light on some things based off of things that I've learned. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, rate, subscribe, do what you're going to do. Please, if you have any questions, honestly, ask them. Ask them. Anything, literally, anything. If you have a question, ask. If I don't have the answer, I could quite possibly help you find the answer. And that's where I'm good, is inquiry. If there's a problem, there's a solution somewhere. We might not have it yet. We got a lot of people working on death. Like, why does death have to happen? A lot of people think it's just a problem that needs solving. In any case, Good luck to you all, and I will catch you on the flip side. Skattosan.